Hey, ba-dum,
Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, all BS. And of course, you got the Coco crew here holding it down live. You got me, the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room, live from Richmond, Virginia. And of course, joining me live all the way in Tokyo, Japan, good enough for government work, Dave Coco. Coco, how the hell are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just fighting the good fight. Yourself, sir?
Living life here in the RVA, just loving it. Well, did you get?
Great week for pro wrestling. Great.
Yeah, it actually has. It really has been. I don't think this is one hell of a streak. You know, not just WWE, but I mean, a lot of these companies are on right now. And I really wish they would keep up the work. And of course, Lucha Underground was no exception. So I'm going to ask the question, and I'm going to ask this of all the internet infantry: if you happen to see this week's episode of Lucha Underground, what do you give it? Do you give it a win, a loss, or a tie? So put it down here in the comment sections and let us know what you think. And get your questions and comments in. We'll be answering them as we review the show. Dave, I'm going to straight up give it a win. It was a solid win. It was a good show. It furthered storylines. It started others. It got me intrigued on some others. I mean, it's just the Lucha Underground, in my opinion, is kicking on all 8 cylinders right now. Dave, are you sharing my enthusiasm?
Yeah. Like I said, Lucha Underground has been my favorite product on American television. I honestly think it's the best American pro wrestling TV show, in my opinion. I know different people have different styles of wrestling. And I think I gave it like the worst score I've ever given it in its run. It's 2 ties. And I think I regret one of those ties. I think this is the first time in a real long time, and granted NXT was having a pay-per-view event, where NXT was better. I think this is the first time in a really long time, I'm talking months, that the Wednesday Night Wars went to NXT as far as the final product. But I still give it a huge win. I think it was a tie for me throughout the show, but that ladder match towards the end, just like, no, that is television at its finest. You were sucked into that match. You cheered. It was, for a Lucha, I still give it a win. I give it a win. I don't want people to knock it, but, I calls it like I sees it. I think for Lucha Underground, this was a week ago with one of the strongest finishes ever. You know what I mean? Because I was watching it, I was like, this ain't that good for Lucha Underground standards. But that, maybe last 5-10 minutes, you were in the Lucha Underground universe. And that's what entertainment should be. A lot of people try to be so smart that they don't enjoy the product. When you lose yourself in that universe, I don't care if it's Flash, Arrow, X-Men, I'm a comic book nerd. When you lose yourself in that universe, then you're like, no, that's entertainment. That's what you want. David Copperfield. You want to lose yourself. And for some reason, wrestling fans don't want to lose themselves. But I'm going to tell you, I went from asshole critic throughout the whole show, I'm a critic, I'm on YouTube, to, no, I'm fucking 8 years old and I fucking believe in Santa Claus. That fucking last 10 minutes was amazing compared to the rest of the card. I thought it was a weaker show for Lucha Underground, but I'm not going to lie. I believed what they were selling me. I lived in that universe those last 10 minutes of that match. So overall, I give it a win, but I think it's the first time in months that they lost the Wednesday Night War. With that said, pro wrestling has been amazing this week. Absolutely amazing. So overall, I give it a win. Down in the comments, please put win, loss, or tie. Booms, you ready to break this bad boy down?
Yep, ready to go.
This is my last show of the day, most likely. You got one more show, champ. You got one more show.
I know. We just keep fighting the good fight.
Boom, boom. 3 shows in one day. Booms. Did that guy who talked shit about you, did he motivate you? Did you wake up and be like, I'll show that son of a biscuit? All right, boom.
No, I really didn't care because it's like, oh well, the shows that Boom Boom does has low ratings. Yeah, Boom Boom does SmackDown. Yeah, Boom Boom does regular NXTs. Yeah, I mean, Dave has done those shows, and they have, and sometimes they don't get very high picks. So, if someone wants to hate on me,
All
that's
right,
fine.
focus, focus.
Sorry. Okay.
You
Sorry, I
know
went
it's
on.
better when I'm the one with the ADHD 47,697, and I'm telling you to focus. Boom, bring your A game, baby. Drive the bus.
All right. Well, first of all, of course, they did it in the Temple as always, and in Los Angeles, California. Dave, I was glad to see you in the ring. I love the makeup that they did on you because the first match is Prince Puma taking on Dave Coco, otherwise known as Marty the Moth Martinez.
I am not the boss, for the record. You got to be careful. Nowadays, sarcasm doesn't carry as much weight as back in our younger days.
Dave, I'm just saying, I'm not saying you're Marty the Moth Martinez, but I'm just saying I've never seen you and Marty the Moth Martinez in the same place at the same time. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. Well, you could be like iJapan. iJapan gave me like the best backhand insult. I don't even think it's not even a backhand compliment. He came up to me and he's like, if AJ Styles was old and ugly, he would look like you. I'm like, thanks, iJapan. I appreciate that. All right. Yeah. So the match happens. Even though people say he looks like me, which I don't see it. I hate the Moth storyline. I hate it. But the fact that he's going against Prince Puma, all right, you got it. But I enjoyed this match a lot, and I usually don't throw. But if I hate something on WWE, I have to say I fucking hate it on Lucha Underground. I have to call it as I sees it. I despise non-title matches. Like, I was into it, and then he's like, this is a non-title match.
They addressed that, Dave.
I know they addressed it, but it still hurts less. It's like, all right, I'm going to go another one. I went rape joke. This early in the show, I was already going rape joke. But it's like someone saying, I'm going to stab you. Yeah, they addressed it. They made it clear, but it still hurts. It still hurts. Too early for rape joke, sir. But I'm happy Prince Puma won. Marty the Moth really impressed me.
That's something I do want to talk about. Marty the Moth took a page out of Bailey's playbook. He shook hands, then started hugging Puma. It's like, oh, can we take a picture together? Then he finally levels him with a clothesline, and the match starts. He showed that Martinez shows that he can move, especially for a guy for his stature. He hit some drop kicks. He kind of got caught the champion off guard early, but eventually he missed a. I don't think it was a drop kick, but Puma hit a springboard kick, and he finally took over. Then, it was all pretty much Puma for there. He hit the 630 splash for the win. This should have been, for all practical purposes, a squash match, but they kind of gave Marty the Moth, an out. They had some fun with it, and they kind of showed that he's just not some chump. He can actually wrestle a little bit. It was just enough to go, okay, this guy's not a complete fucking dillweed. He can go a little bit here, but no, he's obviously not good enough to defeat the champion. And I don't have a problem with it being a non-title match because, Vampiro and Matt Striker talked about it. It's like, well, how come this isn't a title match? Well, it's his first match. You have to earn a title shot here in Lucha Underground. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Dave, that is like saying, okay, we're going to go into the UFC, and since I pick a fight with a champion and I get in there with a champion, I automatically get a title shot. That makes no fucking sense.
Not so fast, my fellow friend. He would never fight it. It's not like you go up to him and be like, oh, I want a UFC title shot. They're like, well, here you go. Here's fucking Cain Velasquez. Go fight him. Well, no. That's not going to happen unless you're Brock Lesnar. But the thing is, no, if you fight the championship should be on the line. If you don't think he's worthy of a title shot, then don't fucking put him in the ring as the champion. So no, I disagree. No. Bad Lucha Underground. Bad. And the second thing is, I did fanboy a bit. When he gave a powerful clothesline to the Moth, I was like, that's Prince Puma, motherfucker! I was hooked. I was worked in a good way. Like fucking people now all of a sudden being worked is a bad thing. I was worked in a good way. When he clotheslined him, I was like, that's Prince Puma, motherfucker! I bought into it hook, line, and sinker. No non-title matches. Dear Mr. Lucha, we haven't done this in a while. Dear Mr. Lucha, no more non-title matches. Love Superfan 99. 2 people will get that reference, but they'll bring a smile to their face. Moving on. Oh, you gonna mention Hernandez? Come on, you're dropping the ball.
Yeah, after the match, Hernandez was like he was coming down the steps into the temple. He exchanged Conan exchanged some words with him on the microphone and challenged him to come on in, and Puma was ready to go. They were ready to get a match. They were ready to do that title match right then and there, but Hernandez thought better of it and walked away. I like they're teasing up this big, there's this big build of this match. It's going to happen. It's coming, so I like the build up to it so far.
Yeah, the build is getting me really excited, to be honest with you, because I don't read spoilers, and you're a better person and enjoy stuff more if you don't read spoilers. But, yeah, the build up, man, because I always thought Hernandez, it's just 2 guys I think deserve to be in the main event. And thanks to Lucha Underground, they're in the main event. So it's really exciting to see people that are worthy of the main event spot be in the main event. I just, it intrigues me. So there you go. Next, we got Vampiro.
Yes, he interviewed Johnny Mundo, obviously addressing what happened last week when Mundo attacked Alberto El Patron and threw him through the window of Dario Cueto's office. He kind of explained, I guess Mundo just explained that he thought that El Patron is overrated, overpaid, and he's, that Mundo says he's the biggest star in Lucha Underground, and this whole thing is, I've been here from day one because I wanted to be, and here's, Patron, he comes in and he just waltzes in one day, and all of a sudden he jumps past me. I don't think so, and he did that, and I like that. I like that explanation. He didn't dilly-dally around the question. He just straight up addressed it. It's like, yeah, I think he's a dick. I've been here since day one because I love it here. And you expect him just to walk in, all cocky that, I'm the AAA Mega Champion and I can take over. No, it's like, no. I wanted to remind him how motor he really was. I think that was just a great angle, and I like where this is headed. Let me ask you this, Dave. How do you feel about the Mundo heel turn?
I like it a lot, but Mr. Mundo, can I call you Johnny? I actually liked it a lot. I thought he brought up some great points. I love the interview style. I love Vampiro. Vampiro is... I like Vampiro a lot because he has the Dave Coco style of interviewing. Let's just scream at them until they give you the answer you want. I just enjoyed it. It's like, you're not giving me the answer I want. Let me just repeat the question louder. Trust me, there's a reason why my network brought me straight to sports. I was actually supposed to be a real reporter. They made me interview the mayor once, and they're just like, nope, you can cover sports. No. So, Vampiro, much tip to my hat to you. You, sir, went to the school of Coco reporting, where you just yell at someone until you feel like it's the truth. I really enjoyed this segment. But here, Johnny, I'm going to call you Johnny for a second because we're on a first-name basis. What? No, Mr. Mundo? Okay, Mr. Mundo. All right, the joke with Del Rio slapping the guy backstage was awesome the first time. You hit a home run. This is your go-to line now. This is like your Austin 316. Pump your brakes. We get it. Del Rio slaps fucking catering around. We fucking get it. Like, he's gone to that joke way too many times. Mundo, you're not doing a podcast, a very bad podcast on YouTube. You're doing national television. Come on. And Vampiro, I tip my hat to you. If I could teach reporters anything, it would be just be Vampiro. Vampiro would have found out everything with his fucking with his interviewing process. You're like, who killed Kennedy? Put Vampiro on that shit. He's gonna find out. I'm sorry, I marked out for Vampiro because he just threw the papers down. He's like, listen, motherfucker, give me the real answer. This is bullshit. So, and I enjoy this style of backstage segments. It's even though pro wrestling is a fantasy world, the fantasy world becomes more real the more realistic you make it. And two people looking at each other in a sit-down interview seems so much more real than, hey, there's a hidden camera. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just can't stop with the hidden cameras. But yeah, so much props. I don't know. I like the way the Lucha Underground does the backstage segments. All right, next backstage segment, sir.
Next, they were in. It was the Crew. They were in Dario Cueto's office, and Dario was talking about the Aztecs, and the practice of human sacrifice to appease the gods. And he basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, is like, okay, I've got you another shot at the trios titles, and you need to sacrifice those champions, or if you don't, the gods will be angered. And if you don't get the job done, I know someone who will have no trouble sacrificing you. So, foreshadowing. Gotta love it.
Yeah, I actually feel bad for the Crew. I absolutely hate them, but I actually feel bad for them because they just get their ass whooped every week. But here's the thing. I don't think there's been a fictional team that I rooted for more than the Trios champion. Like, I call them the Mighty Ducks, and the reason I call them the Mighty Ducks is they were thrown together, and I don't think there's a fictional team that I rooted for more in my life than the Mighty Ducks, and maybe the Trios champion right now. The Trios champion right now, I don't know why, I just fucking root for them. I root for them beyond belief. The one thing that scares me, though, and it's not a bad thing, it's not, I don't know, it's not bad or good, it just scares me. The Big Brother thing. I think they've been hyping up the Key and the Big Brother thing that so much, in my opinion, that I don't know if they can live up to the hype. And I haven't read spoilers. I don't know what's going to happen. But that dude in the cage, the Big Brother, to me, I was like, this might be too much. I don't know. I'm going to go with it because I trust them. Do you trust me? Yes. I trust them. I'm getting on the magic carpet. I believe in this product. But at the same time, this is where the critical assholes in me is like, who the fuck is in that cage? No spoilers, please. Can they possibly live up to this hype? Because you got to remember, this is like the Nibbler of Futurama. Plus 100 if you get that reference. This is the Nibbler in Futurama. This is a big fucking part of the story. And I just hope it delivers. They've delivered on mostly everything. I don't think they've never under-delivered, and that's why you trust the product. But at the same time, you're like, man, this shit's getting hyped the fuck up. All right, next match, sir?
Next, it was Delvar Davari versus Tejano. Then, of course, they went back and showed the rivalry between these two. Davari attacking Tejano in the Trios finals, or costing them a shot, Tejano's team at the Trios titles. And then they had a match last week that ended before it started, with Tejano getting disqualified. So they had the match, and this was actually a pretty good, pretty decent match. I think they're building up to maybe like a grudge match. So, I mean, it was pretty much your standard, back and forth match. It looked like Tejano was about to get the upper hand. Davari came back with a German suplex on Tejano, and hit a code breaker. It looked like, okay, finally Tejano was about to get his revenge, but Big Rick came out of nowhere, clotheslined Tejano, called for the disqualification, and both Big Rick and Davari just put the boots to Tejano, and then forced the referee to, even though the match was thrown out, forced the referee to count to 3 when Davari covered him. I'm interested to see where this feud is going. I kind of like the face turn with Tejano. And I'm hoping it leads to so far they haven't let me down, but I'm hoping this is going to be a pretty good payoff.
Yeah, the only thing I have to say is I think Tejano is way out of his league. Everything I've read and everything I know, I'm not a Lucha expert, but everything I know, it's just Tejano is like the fucking man. And then you got Davari. I'm like, but I think that's why they added Big Rick. And this is the biggest thing that Mr. Lucha can take pride in. Never in a million years did I think I would mark out and want to see Big Rick. And every time that motherfucker's on camera now, it's just, you can hide your weaknesses and be amazing. It's just, you know what? At the end of the day, if you had a time machine and be like, hey, do you think Big Rick will be a fucking one of your favorite characters. I'd be like, fuck off and die. Don't talk to me, future Dave. And past Dave would have been wrong. I love me, but I like the matchup. I like where it's going. I just, for the little bit of knowledge I have of Lucha, I think Tejana is way too big of a star. You know, that's just me, but I still want to see where the feud is going. And not only that, but know what's great about Lucha Underground? Everyone on the roster matters. So, like, they can always have a ladder match. They can always have a casket match. They can always have something because the undercard matters. You know, like, you're always like, how can they top next week? How can they top next week? And they always do it. And the reason why is because they're like ECW, they're like Dragon Gate, they're like New Japan, in the sense of everyone on the fucking card matters. And I'm hoping that mainstream American pro wrestling gets that. Just understands it. Because, I mean, when's the last time you've not been pumped up for a main event for Lucha Underground? I've never. Just fucking, I can't wait. Can't fucking wait for next week. And it's because every single person matters. And when every single person matters, you can have gimmick, crazy main events every single show. But when only one guy matters, dun, 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 you can't have crazy single matches every single night. I love when a roster's over more than just one guy. I hate when it's just one guy's over. It pisses me the fuck off. Even 3 or 4. When the steal line from Paul Heyman, paraphrasing here, everyone that walks out of the locker room, someone somewhere should connect. And I think Lucha Underground is doing that perfectly. I think when someone walks out of that locker room, you connect to them. Even if, they just do such a great job of that. All right, let's go some backstage segments.
We go back to Dario in his office, and you see a woman's hand come out and touch him, and he turns around, and there's nothing there, and then he feels like that hand is back, and then kind of reaches for a key, and then he grabs the hand. It turns out it's Katrina, and she's saying that Mil Muertes will be returning, and he's going to be more powerful forever, and then she asks for basically to get some revenge against Phoenix, so Dario books the match between Phoenix and Mil Muertes in a death match. I wonder who's the favorite in that one. And then he's like, pretty much agrees to it, and then he turns around and she's disappeared again.
How much is Phoenix just a fucking asshole, dude? Like, remember where this storyline came from? Phoenix was in the back just working out. That's the only thing Phoenix ever did. And Katrina kissed him. It's fucking insane. I actually love this storyline so much, just because Katrina, by far, I'm even going real television. Granted, I don't watch as much real television as I used to. I think Katrina has pulled off crazy bit better than anyone I've ever seen in my life. If I go to write a book in the future, you base off characters in your head and people you've met in real life or people you see on television. And normally when I write a strong woman character, I think of Ronda Rousey. I'm like, all right, if I'm going to... a lot of times people write strong women characters, and they're fucking horrible. Trust me. There's a lot of bad strong women characters. So what you want to do is you want to find a real strong woman and be like, oh, Ronda Rousey's a real strong woman. How does she handle? And Katrina, I think, is the Ronda Rousey of crazy women. I just think, she's the ultimate prize, the ultimate character for being a crazy girl. No, it's fucking crazy, and his storyline is crazy, and she pulls it off so fucking well. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. And this is why you don't date crazy. This is why you don't. If Lucha Underground has taught us anything, if Phoenix has taught us anything, it's you do not go after crazy no matter how hot it is. Just stay away. Stay away. Poor Phoenix hasn't said a goddamn word. Just working out, bitch kisses him, and now he has to be in a death match of a dude he just fucking No. Stay away from crazy. Stay away. I've always stayed away from crazy. Boom Boom, have you always stayed away from crazy?
No, and I've regretted that.
Don't date crazy, no matter how hot she is. No matter how hot she is. No. I mean, granted, everyone, and this ain't just attack on women, every person in the world is crazy. I mean, we're part of a YouTube community talking pro wrestling. Everyone has their level of crazy. But if you're dating someone, you're like, that person's fucking crazy, step away. Know what it is? When you go to date someone or marry someone, you have to be the craziest one in a relationship. Because if you're not the craziest one in a relationship, hard times, as Dusty Rhodes would say. Oh, Katrina, you're awesome. I just want you to know. Like, here's the thing, too. It's one of those, it brings kayfabe back alive, because if I ever get the honor of going to Lucha Underground and meeting these wrestlers, I don't want Katrina to be nice to me. Like if she's like such a sweetheart person in the back, no, kick me, throw mud at me or something. No, don't do it, Katrina. You're the only person that gets a pass to be a bitch. Just amazing. All right, the next storyline, I've been shitting on a little bit, but go on.
You know, this is the one. It's like Lucha Underground is like, do you trust me? And I'm like, well, I really haven't been. Do you trust me? Okay, Lucha Underground.
I got nowhere else to go.
I was like, okay, Lucha Underground, I trust you. So, and they're like, okay, just follow me. They go to like this shot where Black Lotus or Angela Fong, whatever you want to call her, is walking away from that compound. You gotta get this narration about how she's leaving. She's saying, "Oh, you don't think I'm ready, but I know I'm ready." And then she's hitchhiking.
Platypus. Go ahead. Sorry.
And then she says she's gonna fulfill her destiny and kill the brother of Dario Cueto.
Lucha Underground. What is this? Is it a Dave Coco novel? We don't have to kill everybody.
And I'm just like, wow. And then you saw like her trainer's like reading her diary, and then you see Chavo Guerrero come in. I'm not making this up, people. Chavo Guerrero comes in and is like, if you want to help her out, you're going to need my help. And so they're sitting down having drinks. I'm not kidding. They come back from commercial. This masked trainer and Chavo Guerrero are having drinks. And he's saying, okay, well, you know, oh, but the Guerreros are liars and cheaters. Like, yeah, that may be, but your family's got a lot of influence, so if you'll cancel our debt, I'll protect your girl. It's like, well, okay, I'll make the call, but you have to protect her with your life. And I'm like, this is either going to be the best payoff ever or the worst. There's going to be no middle ground. Either this is going to be like a fucking awesome angle, or it's just going to blow up in your face like Wile E. Coyote.
I think Lucha Underground, they're like, oh, we're going to get into television. What? There's a season finale? The season finale, they just have, like, dead people everywhere. I think I trust you, Lucha Underground, I really do. But this is the hardest leap of faith. You know, some people, I believe in Sexy Star. I believe in the Trios. I believe in Big Rick. I believe in a lot of what you're selling me. But Batman learning the way of the platypus, this is by far the biggest story that scares me. This scares me more than the Big Brother. But then the Big Brother's part of this storyline, too. Because I think she's going to kill the Big Brother. I don't know, man. I don't.
You know, actually, I got to give credit where credit is due. There was a member of the of the Internet Infantry who said, well, how much you want to bet it was Dario's brother who killed Black Lotus's family? And I was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. I didn't think about that. And they straight up said it. And I'm like, shit.
Spoiler, motherfucker! I don't know. You know what it is? It's one of those I don't want to eat live frog. You know, it's one of those I don't want to eat live frog, but you're on a date with a beautiful woman in Tokyo, and she's like, no, this live frog, it's an etiquette. And you're like, all right. And you're like, I'm going. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm on a date with beautiful Lucha Underground, and I'm going to eat something crazy just for love. That's what I feel like. But this, by far, is the hardest pill to swallow as far as storylines go. And everyone has their line. But to me, you know, this is like Perry the Platypus meets Batman with Chavo fucking Guerrero. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but one thing is, though, like, I do respect them. The shit's starting to connect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though it's a bit crazy, it's starting to connect. And I am letting my guard down as the story goes along. Because I remember the first time this storyline came out, I was like, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. I hope I'm dead. And now I'm like, all right, let's see where this goes. So my guard is getting down. I worry where the storyline's going. But you know what? In Lucha Underground we trust. I ate live frog. Now I'm gonna fucking eat Black Lotus. Context is everything. All right. Let's see. Does Batman? So does that make Chavo? If she's Batman training in the way of the platypus, does that make Chavo Guerrero, Phineas and Ferb dressed up as Robin?
You know what? We'll go with that.
And that's why we're the best review show in the business today. Moving on. The main event, sir. The main event.
All right, live from Boyle Heights. It was a trios tag championship ladder match. Of course, you had the reigning defending champions Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, and Angelico taking on the Crew. That is Bale, Mr. Cisco, and Cortez Castro. Of course, the Crew jumped the champions before they could make it all the way down to the ring. Of course, there was no disqualification, no countouts in a ladder match, and they just started putting it on, particularly on Angelico and Son of Havoc. Ivelisse had to throw her crutches down the stairs and hobble all the way down. She got clocked. I think it was Mr. Cisco clocked her. I mean, ooh, it looked bad, and I was just like, if I was there, I probably would have said shit. Probably would have got my ass kicked, but at least I would have said something. I mean, this match went all over the place. They brought out tables. They brought out ladders. I thought that one spot where they threw Angelico in the corner and they put the ladder on his crotch and then they hammered it in with a chair. Even I flinched on that one. But of course, the champions started coming back. They got a few shots in there. They brought out tables. They were putting people through tables. But I love it when Cisco got knocked off the ladder into Dario's office. That was a fucking cool spot. And then out of nowhere, like later on in the match, there comes Cisco, comes right back out of it, clotheslines. I think it was like Son of Havoc. I think he clotheslined. I mean, it was just absolutely insane. They put. Anyway, let me just kind of fast forward here. I mean, it was just a high spot fest. Angelico, he put, I think it was Bale up on a ladder. He was going up on top of the ladder and decided that wasn't high enough, so he got on top of Dario Cueto's. No, actually, no, it was Cisco, because he was going up to the top of Dario Cueto's office again and got clocked by Bale up there and got the crap beat out of him. Angelico even did another insane spot where it looked like the Crew was about to go up and retrieve the titles, and Angelico jumped off Cueto's office again and drop kicked, I think it was Castro Cortez off the ladder. The crowd went absolutely insane. Eventually, it looked like the Crew was about to win, but Angelico and Son of Havoc started fighting back, and then Ivelisse snuck in there with 1 foot, starts climbing the ladder. Cisco goes to cut her off, but she bites his hand. She starts pulling at his fingers, trying to get him off, and then eventually yanks down one of the belts, and the match is over. Another phenomenal match. I don't think it was as good as their first match, where Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, and Angelico actually won the titles. And I'm worried that Angelico is kind of getting like a typecast with doing that dive off Cueto's office, because the first time he did it, it was awesome because it was totally unexpected. And this time he did it again, tried to top it. In my opinion, I don't think it was as good as his first one. And I really don't want him to really try that again, because if he keeps doing it, I'm just worried it's going to be like expected and he could potentially get hurt doing that seriously. If you do it once or twice, that's kind of cool. But if you do it any more than that, it doesn't become special anymore, and plus you put your health and put your body at a very unnecessary risk. So it was good to see them retain. I'm interested to see where they go from here and what's going to happen to the Crew. I mean, there are just tons of stuff going on. I mean, just a lot of actions, and I think that was just a perfect way to end the show. Ends it on an up note. Dave, what did you think about the show, and do you agree about my statement about Angelico and that spot off Cueto's office, maybe going to the well one too many times?
I I don't know what more he could do. I guess it really just depends on the title match. It depends, because you got to remember, I don't know. I got mixed feelings, but I do know this. I love this storyline. I love this team probably more than any fictional team out there. And I've always respected Angelico, but I officially have a man crush on him. Like, we are past respect, sir. We are past respect. Just anyone that puts their body like that. The drop kick was absolutely amazing. Do I think they should save it? Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. It's exciting. It's fun. It's just taking it to a whole new level. So I really enjoy it. The drop kick was absolutely amazing. This week, this is a compliment for all of professional wrestling. This week they hid injuries great. This Wednesday could be Hide Injury Wednesday. I thought Lucha Underground did a great job hiding the injury, and I thought NXT did a great job hiding injuries. So congratulations on booking on the fly and adjusting and all that. That takes a lot. But yeah, I thought the boss in the office was absolutely hilarious. I thought the fans and the editing really helped the match.
I love the fact that Dario was on the phone when
didn't give a shit. Yeah,
when Cisco comes in, and he's still talking on the phone like nothing. Like, okay, whatever.
That's fucking every day. And the last thing where she with her broken leg is climbing up the ladder, I became 8 years old rooting for Cool Runnings again. That moment was just magic because I was like, she's climbing the ladder with a broken foot, and they worked me. I was in the fucking zone. I was there, and I fucking absolutely enjoyed it. All right. Overall, I give it a win, and can't wait for next week. And not all that, but there have been tons of reports of a season 2, and that really, really.
Yeah, right now there's still no official word. King Cuerno, I think he did an interview recently, and he said he still hasn't heard anything
there's
yet.
Internet reports that Cheerleader Melissa is signed on for season 2. There's internet reports that I think it starts taping, in the fall. So there are internet reports. Now, how accurate these internet reports are, who knows? We've learned earlier today that it's you're lying, everyone is lying type world we live in. So I hope there's a season 2. All right, let's go to some live comments, shall we?
Okay.
All right. Bullet Club Biggs and Jerry Sweat are watching. We got Baby Macaroni's coming in for comment time. Hey, go see Bubba. Oh, okay. For those that want to know, Baby Macaroni came in to tell us, breaking news, Baby Macaroni's eating toast.
Oh, well, that's good. Like, does it have jam on it?
Dad and his podcast need to know. Baby Macaroni's eating toast. That's important stuff, Bullet Club Biggs, Jerry Sweat, appreciate you watching us on Google+. Bullet Club Biggs says, sadly, I've missed most of Lucha Underground since, episode 3 or 4. Real life has been getting in the way. Dude, you gotta... I think this is the perfect show to marathon. They gotta put this shit on Netflix. You gotta get back. Lightning won game 2 and 3. Let's go, Lightning! I'm such a huge Lightning fan. I'm so happy. I love the Lightning, and hopefully they win the cup. Fuck you, Andy Pabst. Andy Pabst is a Rangers fan. How could he? And he also says, every time I see Katrina, Black Lotus, and Everlease, I be thinking, and then it's a picture of Bill Clinton saying, what that math do? All right. Understood. On Twitter, at Vinny the Samurai says, hey, Coco, a random question. What's your opinion on Sean Davari? I think he's a very entertaining wrestler and should have a job. I don't know. I guess he's a pretty decent guy. He has a follow-up question outside of Lucha. Will there be a SmackDown review podcast? Yes, as soon as we're done live comment times, we're going to go off the air. I'm going to eat pancakes. And after I eat pancakes, Boom Boom's going to do SmackDown review. Hold on. What the hell, buddy?
Yeah, I'm going to do the SmackDown review, and I will not be eating pancakes because it's almost midnight here in Virginia. And I actually prefer waffles over pancakes because waffles are like pancakes, but they have a built-in syrup trap.
Well, not so fast, my fellow friend. I know I'm being invaded by Baby Macaroni. By the way, 2 babysitters, Still, no one's stopping. I'm with this kid 24/7. I'm like, hey, can I do a podcast for an hour or two? Right now I have 3 people that I'm paying for to be like, hey, just watch my little guy so I can do a podcast. And this son of a gun is living up to his Leonardo Ninja name. He's like, wah! Either that or I have the worst maid / babysitter. I sound like a fucking cake eater.
You are.
Well, it's all that big time YouTube money. I mean, everyone has a babysitter and a maid that comes in for their podcast. That's just like simple economics or something. All right, so yeah, there will be a SmackDown review, but it will be just boom boom because I'm gonna eat pancakes with my baby macaroni. All right, boom 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 boom. A lot of TNA comments. Yeah, we did the video on that. All right, let's refresh this bad boy. Shundell Hall and Helico is one crazy ass white boy. LOL. Yeah, I think that's safe to say. And then there's just a lot of people going crazy with the TNA talk. I wonder, like, that's my conspiracy cap. I wonder if TNA made all this shit up with Meltzer just to get people to talk about it. I read conspiracy theory. Is it a 6 or is it a 9? Anyway, Booms, I think we're going to wrap this bad boy up. You ready to wrap it up?
Ready to wrap it.
All right. Like, comment, subscribe. We did 3 videos today. We did one about the TNA update, the response to Dave Meltzer. We did a Lucha Underground review, which you're listening to now. Thank you for being a part of the internet inventory. And Boom Boom is returning by himself. He's going El Solo. That's my Spanish. You just put the word El in front of something, and you're good. El Solo. I don't think that's how it works. When he's going to do a SmackDown review in 10 to 20 minutes. So please like, comment, subscribe. Check out KocoSports.net, KocoSports.net. Lucha Underground, thank you for being awesome. Boom Boom, thank you very much for being part of the show. And above all, thank you, Internet Infantry, for being a part of our community. Like, comment, subscribe. KocoSports.net. We'll be back with a SmackDown review in a bit. With that, I am over. Boom, 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 boom.